Welcome to the Weiss Schwarz market update for April 16th, 2022. Do you like this GIF on the side? I totally do. This is on Facebook. Every day, Hololive has been getting card reveals as we thought it would. And as you can see here, this is Okayu. Every day, there are people putting GIFs under the comments, which I think is really awesome because everybody's really excited for it. You'd see the hearts and the cares and all that good stuff. And this happens constantly, so it's really cool actually to see all the stuff people being fired up about it and just seeing all the different gifts. Like, I mean, look at her doing that. I wish I could do that. I think it'd be really cool. And we actually just have a dog. Sorry, I just saw that. Okay, anyways, the real reason I'm actually out here is you can see this was April 11th, this is April 12th, and this is April 13th right here. So there's something missing, and the thing that's missing is this. On April 12th, 2022, at 11 p.m. time, on the Weiss Schwarz Twitter, we are currently experiencing some server issues with our website and are working to resolve this as soon as possible. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. In the meantime, feel free to tweet us if you have any questions. So the interesting part about this is you'll go on Facebook and you don't really see many replies back. So people will be writing questions and you don't actually see a reply back to it. So you can see this person. If I want to edit my deck for my pre-registrations, how do I go about doing that? Which seems kind of important to know, but it was never responded back to. But out here on Twitter, there is actual responses by Weiss Schwarz, who's ever running this one. And I would say if you don't have a Twitter account yet and you want to ask the people at Weiss Schwarz English side, you might want to do that and come out here and send them some questions because you never know, it's going to probably be answered. And the majority of these actually got responded back to. I'm going to read some of them as part of this market update because some of this applies to some of the questions that we have had lately. So My Dress Up Darling. My Dress Up Darling was one of the ones that was hoped for people to see an upcoming set. Like when I did my survey, people were hoping this is coming. And in the end, it'll stay as Schrodinger's My Dress Up Darling set for now. So that is a non-confirm, not confirming of the set. So we all knew it's not going to, I would imagine if the set comes out, it's going to happen to JP first. And we already know pretty much all the sets all the way up to October. So if you're going to see the set, it more than likely not going to be until next year. So unfortunately, anybody that wanted that set, you're not going to see it for a while. Next one we get, is there a place we can go to see SPs for upcoming sets? So as you know, there is a promotional cycle for releases, and the ones he's talking about is Quince 2 and AOT season, the final season. So that'll be around June to July for the respective sets. They'll be on Facebook, they'll be on the card of the day, on the Weiss Schwarz website, so just check out for that. The full sets normally end up like a week before or a couple days on the Weiss Schwarz website, this website. You can see it under the card list. But what you can actually see here is you can actually go on TCG Player, funny as it is. TCG Player actually has the cards on their site a lot sooner than the actual full final card list that you find on Weiss Schwarz. I don't know how that is. I don't understand that, but it does happen, so make sure to check out TCG Player. All right, next one, Fujimi Fantasia Bunko. This was the one that actually won as part of my survey. So here's survey. Let me bring it up quick. I didn't actually have this up. Bam, Excel. All right, what do we got? Fujimi Fantasia Bunko. That was the one that won, which one we wanted to see reprints of. As you can see here, there is six people that voted for that. And what we got here is, I love this answer. Can I interest you in Attack on Titan and Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai reprints instead? So you might have a little longer wait, but again, that's not going to happen. Maybe next year. I like this. I like how this is. You can tell somebody learned customer service or marketing because it's not a no, it's a here's another option for you. That's pretty good. I liked it. Okay, next one. Can I interest you? No, that was the same one. Next one. When the secret last set from the English conference will be announced. I should have had this up, but here we go. If you don't remember what we are talking about here, is this announcement. Bam. Okay, so at the very bottom, after the English conference, this page came up, and at the very bottom said one more thing coming soon. And that would be this thing. So they are saying we're targeting them for mid-May, but we can't make any promises yet. I wonder why mid-May? It's it's kind of odd. There's nothing happening, right, for JP. They've already done their conference. So there's not like a conference. I guess maybe they are finishing up whatever they're doing. They don't have the pictures for it because we're sprinkling the finishing touches on to one of the final titles. Would be sprinkling. Is there any anime that makes food? Or that's just them being cute? I don't know. Okay, last one we have here is there's more. I just didn't decide to read them all. You tweeted last time that delayed Hololive English release that there won't be any changes, but I'm still skeptical about it. Will some cards not receive an English version, or will all Hololive cards receive an English version? I'm genuinely concerned. And if this is the same person that I saw on Reddit or Facebook, there is somebody else asking this same question. All the cards are going to be the same. I know people are worried about Coco or Rushia, things like that. They're not going to. There must have been some production delay, and they're not going to be pulling out cards from the actual set. That's not actually going to happen. You can actually see it on the trial deck, right? The trial deck itself, so whoever this person is, the trial deck itself is not delayed. And you can see on this picture here that we still have Coco, right? They didn't rip her out. And we have Rushia. Where is she? Number 3. There she is. She's still in there. Let me zoom in on her. And she's still in there. They're not pulling her out. That thing's not being delayed. It's going to be fine. I really wouldn't worry about it. So I think that's what's all that's happening here. Let me go back one. Let's just see if there's anything else here. But yeah, I would say if you ever wanted to get a reply back to them, or at least just throw it out there, maybe they will reply. This is the place to do it, Twitter. It's really odd, again, because there's Facebook, there's Twitter. You're not like hitting all your social media places, which is what I feel off about it. So some person's willing to sell their soul for Adventure Time. Anybody else? Anybody else? Disgaea. I felt really bad about this one because this one's actually right here. Can you remove or change the new extra time rule with double loss because it's easy to exploit and cheat as a team and unfair when we are paired against new or slow players? So I was hearing about that, about the Springfest. So maybe we'll get a reply on that. Maybe we won't. I'm not really sure anymore. But that was all that was out there for this. With Springfest, actually, I do need to bring this up. One last thing. Bushiroad Springfest 2022. So what we have out here for Bushiroad Springfest, obviously the tournament's still ongoing. There's teams and all that, but the prizes are pretty expensive. I've talked about it before, and I will say it again, that just for participating, you will get these cards right here. These Mami and Rudius. But the top 8 gets this stamped. Whoa. Geez, she looked really scared. Is that really the face she should have? Yeah, I mean, anybody that watched the anime Ruka, I don't know if she would have that kind of face for whatever is about to happen. Anyways, so there was on the auction group that I've talked about, the Weiss Schwarz auction group. There is, it's called Weiss Schwarz Auction Center. But this card and these two right here just sold for $195. So that is the current price of 3 of the 1, 2, and 3. These 3 cards, $195. So pretty fair. But again, remember, even though that price seems really high, there are a lot more Spring Fest locations, events that are going to happen, right? Like there should have been one this weekend. Yes, there's one this weekend. Germany. Is there anyone over here? Rosemont, Illinois. Hey, wait. By the way, does anybody know this? Does this flip in countries? I'm like looking at this and I'm like, it, normally, right, the U.S. rates at Rosemont, Illinois, but this one's like flipped the other way around. So maybe it's like that whole time thing or date thing. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. We're going to Kobayashi's Maid Dragon. So the reason why I want to go back to this one is because of this trial deck. This trial deck is pretty crazy expensive. So you know right away, if Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid ever makes it to English, that you need to buy your trial deck ahead of time because the trial deck price of this card has gone up substantially, right? Like it was 900 some or 90 something thousand, now it's 108,000. I also didn't know that these Japanese ones are like smaller in size, right? Like I'm not doing this to show off. I remember when I got the box, when I got these trial deck displays of Kobayashi's Maid Dragon, I'm like, huh, they look smaller, but maybe my eyes are like bugging out. But no, it's actually smaller. I would have thought, see, that this is my first time I got the Japanese trial decks. I would have thought trial decks for English and Japan would have been exactly the same. Like, well, I have two different packaging. I remember seeing like videos of how like the displays, the T not displays, but the actual trial decks are different. But I would have never guessed they're the dimensions and all that. Like, why have two different packaging for Japan and English? That doesn't make any sense to me. You would think you'd be streamlined and all be the same, but who knows? Maybe I'm just out of my mind. just, I don't I don't get it why it would be any sort of difference. Maybe I don't know. But one day I'll open this. I'll open some of these things. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. I think it's like a rainy day kind of thing. But these trial decks obviously are really expensive. There are some OFRs inside of these trial decks that are sold out and really expensive. And then your trial deck actually has some nice art. I'm going to say it that way. That would be more desirable, right? So, uh, in the Climax Common, where's this Climax Common? There you go. This is from the booster box that people were looking at before. So overall, Kobayashi's Maid Dragon, Dragon Maid. Keep reading that. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, really expensive trial deck. It's one of those ones where I think as you start looking at cards, if you're one of those people that want to collect or invest, you need to make sure you follow these card reveals, even if it's in Japanese, because the Japanese version can carry over to the English if we see it. Especially like we have Quints coming out. It's good to know. I know a lot of people like that I've talked to and that watch these videos don't play at all, but it's one of those ones where you need to make sure to take a look at the decks currently played because if you're looking for a deal on a card or you're just trying to get into the game, you need to make sure like out of nowhere the card isn't going to go up. And I'm talking about like the quintessential quintuplets Ichika card. I know Audrey was telling me about it like when we had our talk. So quintessential quints. Let me just go with that. The double rare is definitely disappearing. And if you wanted to play the deck or just merely collect it, I didn't get the double rare plus. There you go, double rare plus. There you go. So as you can see here, there is this thing's $15. Has been steadily going up and steadily being bought. You can see that for April, and there's only 7 sellers. And when comparing to other amount of listings, Ichika is 7, right? 7 and Miku 16, Itsuki 22. So you can see this one is definitely going to run out before all the other ones. So if you're interested in certain decks or sequels or collections, just make sure that you know which cards are more sought after by taking a look at the Japanese side. That will definitely save you a whole lot of effort and money in the future. So that's why I say like when I saw this picture that night for this set, I was like, holy crap, I need to buy this because one, I don't know if that's actually going to make it to English, and two, this is definitely going to be targeted, and that's exactly what happened here. So I think when people started noticing what was inside of these cards wise, you need to do that. So this is this is what makes it more interesting, I would say, than Magic the Gathering. Um, in that sense, it's like that. Magic the Gathering, you get some card reveals and all that, but people just buy the set. They're not really targeting certain cards for artwork. I think these days, like maybe if it's a reprint of a certain special card, Force of Will, Double Masters, but with this, because there's different anime and different card art that may end up in these things, that's what's actually happening. Okay, so make sure to just take a look. So keeping with that mindset, Japan is coming out with next one is the Side Tramieri, and we have Tokyo Revengers. So this one, I like the anime. This is based on the mobile game, so it's a little disappointing for me as the person that watched the anime. I'm really excited for Jessica right here. I really want that card. So I don't know what I'm gonna do here for that, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, she just looks really cool. Short girl with a big gun, and she got a rabbit signature. So I'm really excited for that one. I definitely want to have that one. There's not very many Japanese cards that I look forward to, but that one is definitely one of the ones I want. And then we have Tokyo Revengers. So I'm still on the fence on this one. Do I buy some Japanese Tokyo Revengers to make sure that I get the alternate art that we're not getting in English? I think I am. I'm still on that fence, but I think in the end I am totally going to do it. I'm really excited for the set. And out here we do have cards of the day for that one. So make sure, like, lesson learned from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is you need to follow these Japanese reveals. One, maybe the set doesn't actually come to English after you see what cards are in it. You know, like this thing. Do you think this? I really wonder if this is going to, some of this art is really going to stop this thing from coming over, right? Like, do you think it's going to come over because of that? And if you don't think it's going, then you might want to buy some. So that's what needs to happen. And then at the same time, you kind of get an idea about how much it's going to be worth if it does come over to English. Because it seems like over and over again, people are caught off guard by like certain sets, like coming, not coming, the pricing on it, like this thing right here. So I don't know why, and I don't know why TCG Player has this price. It won't update for me. Like, right, let me hit refresh. You'll see what I mean. This thing says 1750, but if I go in here, it's 1650 plus 60-cent shipping. And if I look down below, it's 19.99. So there's nowhere this thing says 1750. So if you want this thing, if you want Roxy at 1650 and 60 cents, then she is definitely out here. It's definitely like you could tell me all day someone bought this at 1939, but and then you have someone here selling it for 1650 and 60 cents. So hey, you can get a discount. You can get a discount compared to what this guy paid for it. So out there, Mushoku Tensei overall in general, we've been through this. I thought it needs a reprint. I still think it needs a reprint. Talent for Magic Rudius was up there. It's coming down. I wonder, do you think, I don't know for sure, but do you think people actually sell their cards after playing it? Like Springfest happened, if they're done with Springfest, they just sell the cards. Like maybe they just bought it for Springfest and they're done with it now. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's like a thing. Maybe it does happen. I see these people with four. This one tells me that they probably opened it. They weren't here before, and there's 15 copies of the card. So this will keep popping up and down, I think, as the weeks goes on. And Roxy for sure, $14. So overall, Double Rare is still a really expensive a set, highly playable set, as we've seen from Springfest. As we get more and more data from Springfest, all you're seeing is there's a whole lot of Mushoku. It seems like at least 25% of the top 8 is Mushoku Tensei. So definitely that is the direction people are going in when they play the Springfest. That's ours. That's ours. The Seductive Imitation Heiress. $75 sold by Pizza Hut. I said the name because I just saw it. I like Pizza Hut. I remember back in the day. Did you ever? I don't know. I don't even have a Pizza Hut anymore. I think they all closed down. Where they have the little arcade machine. They have like a little Pac-Man machine, Miss Pac-Man, or the tabletop one. It was actually pretty cool. It was Pizza Hut. $75 this one. This is crazy. I don't think I'd ever pay $75 for this card. I'm gonna stop there because every time I look at that card, I'm like, I never know what to say. Anyways, SRs for the set pretty fairly expensive, right? So when you open these boxes, the money was totally worth it, right? You got 4 or 5 double rares, and as you saw, double rares were like the top two were $15, so pretty expensive. Then if you get some SRs, you get the right triple rare. It's insane. So uh, Eris's Request and Right Demon Eye, of course. Wow, look at that. Right Demon Eye, more expensive. I never thought that would happen. I thought Eris's Request would always stay slightly above. What is that? They're roughly 35, 45. Yeah, and this is lightly played too. So this is finally, I guess, balancing out for just the time being. But really, triple rares, SRs, this was the box to open. If you wanted to open a box, this would have been the one you wanted to do it on. SPs, let me see. Let me see. I didn't have it up. I didn't want to. I didn't really think about this. So with SPs and actually SSPs, right? The set's got both 750. They're pretty high priced. Yeah, this is definitely a box to open. So if you wanted it, you got it. You opened it. Great. Oh, this one finally. As you can tell, I didn't prepare much for this video. I'm just looking at this for the first time. I really, when I make these videos and I get to a certain point in time or whatnot, you can tell like I just do it. Hopefully you get that. I'm just talking to you at this point. I'm thinking through this myself. So we know there's these promo PR packs, and how I had this sorted on TCG Player, as you can see, is by alphabetical order because I want to compare the two of them together. You can see how devastating these foil PRs actually are to the market itself. So to show you this, remember what I always talked about with extra booster box? You have it where in extra booster boxes there is a normal version and then you have a foil version. And realistically, the foil version should carry some premium over the non-foil version. What do you see here? Especially with this Roxy. Roxy normal 285, Roxy foil 167. I mean, if I click in here, maybe there's shipping, right? But that's free shipping if you buy over $5. Okay, so when you take Rudius, look at this one. This is the one you actually need. It's playable. You have non-foil $9. So you're telling me the booster box one is $9, and then you have the foil version $3. And well, let's see if they're shipping. Let's just say 301, just because you probably buy two of them. So $3 versus $9. There's 30 listings of this, and the foil version 26 listings. So what's actually happening here? There's a heck of a lot of undercutting. I will tell you that is what's going on. Again, I don't know what went down in the storage shops. I know with the rules with the Mushoku Tensei PRs, there really weren't rules. It was just supposed to actually help out the store itself. So there wasn't a lot around it. And I think there was some stuff that happened in shops that probably was not the best usage from the customer standpoint. It's probably not the best way to use it. For the store, it feels like they were able to do anything, and you could tell because there were some of these places or sellers. Again, I don't know what happened here. Maybe this is a person, not a store. If you're trying to wonder why I'm saying it the way it is, I'm not trying to get in trouble with any store. So because I'm not there. I don't know what actually happens. All I see here is right there is sellers that have multiple copies of this stuff, and you can see them pushing the price of this down repeatedly over and over and over again the last couple of weeks. And that's what has taken place, and that's where we find ourselves now. So that's what you can see, this massive gap, right? So because 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, and then a 7. And at 412, you have this seller with 12 copies of this thing. So definitely a whole lot of undercutting happening because they want to get rid of it. People want the foil, and they don't want this non-foil. I guess. Like, let's see. I haven't looked at this. In April, non-foil. Oh my god, non-foil sold for, let's say, roughly $10, $10.50, something like that. There was a lot of sales there. But there's a lot more sales when it comes to the foil version, as you can see here. Jeez. Would you really buy the non-foil version at 10 when you have the foil version at $4, $3, $4? It's kind of crazy to me. So the two that are definitely being undercut, you can see here, is the Roxy and the Rudius. Those are the ones that are moving. And you can see the other ones actually make a lot more sense. Like the Eris, the Ghislaine, and the Sophiette, the foils are more expensive than the non-foils. That makes sense. So whatever happened here, people really had it priced high. There was a whole lot of undercutting happening. And we find ourselves in this position where now you have the foil version actually less than the non-foil version. So if you're interested in foil versions of Rudius Grey Rat, definitely not a bad time. Bang Dream is pretty terrible, but exactly what I thought would happen with it. I've said this before. I said it in my market video, so hopefully a bunch of you heeded my advice. I remember in my video, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I don't know if I said this publicly or not. In my video, I said I don't know what I'm doing. I might buy 1, buy 2, buy 10. Not really sure yet. What ended up happening was I didn't buy any. I bought 0, and the reason why I bought 0 was because I was waiting for this to happen. Like literally did not buy any because I wanted it to drop in price, which is going to happen eventually. I don't know how low it's going to drop, but me as Bang Dream fan, this box literally has the same cards over and over and over and again, right? We explained it. If you don't know about what's inside of this box, go check out my buy or invest video for this actual product. But really, there's no signed cards in it. You're going to get the same cards over and over and over again. And what I wanted to do was, I was like, you know what? This thing's going to drop. People are going to buy too many of these. As you can see, the amount of sales of the sealed on TCG Player is really, really bad looking. We have a couple at the beginning of April. Last time one was sold was April 11th for $77.49. And we are now at $68.98, and it should still continue to drop. Like what? Unless there's someone out there that really wants Bang Dream really bad and like to sweep up the market, then yeah, they can do that. But outside of this, not going to happen. You could see like the single sales really bad. This Yukina sold 2, 1 for 30, 1 for 75. It is now $51. And then we have this Saya. She sold 1 April 10th for $30, now $28. So you can see how the BDRs are the more expensive ones. They got the foil stamp on it, but they're not really going to change in price much. And I think some people are going to start getting a little more desperate and dropping it. So I feel bad for the people that open these things thinking that they're going to be able to just turn it around. But really, that's how this product was always going to be. Like I've said that in my video. I was like, these are worth a lot if you can actually sell them. And I think that's the problem. I don't think you can actually sell them. There was somebody out there, credit to this guy, because this person went out here and bought literally 1 of every SR, not the foil stamp one, but they bought 1 of every SR. And it was like $2 to $150. So I think that was really cool that they did that. See, so $150, you'll see it over and over again. There's like one day I woke up and I saw this where like there was just sales for just all the SRs. I'm like, that's cool, because think about it this way. I'm like, I always talk about budgets and all that, and I'm like, why would you do that? And then I'm like, okay, I get it, because there's 35 girls, and let's say I know there was some sales for $2, but the majority of them was $150. You can see it on the screen. So 35 times $150, and we get $52.50. So what this person did was he assembled a whole set of SRs for all of the bands for roughly $52.50. I know there might be taxes on there, and some cards are $2, but still. But that was cheaper than buying this box, which was back then on TCG Player for $77, right? And even then, you're still going to be missing cards. That's all I was like, why did he do that? And I'm like, you can get every card. And I'm like, no, you can't, because right inside of every pack is 5 cards, one girl from each band, but one of them is going to be a BDR. So to actually assemble a set of these, you technically might have to buy 2 boxes or buy 1 box and a bunch of singles. So this person said, screw it. I'm just going to buy the SRs for individually for $52.50. Again, it cuts you out of the BDRs and all that, but you know what? If you're on a budget, this makes sense to me. So credit to that person. Good job. I don't know how much people are actually selling like a set of SRs individually like that for, but really cool. So if you are trying to sell these and you haven't actually done that, maybe that's a way to go to, like one of each card SR out there for people. I know people are trying to sell playsets of these too, but in the end, Bang Dream definitely gonna be rough. So I would say the 5th anniversary will be coming out at some point next year for English. Be a little cautious on it. It is a good set, and people do play with it for tournaments. But as you can see here with what happened in the January set, those extra boosters, the trial deck, and what you see here, you really need to pay attention as to what is inside of these boxes. Like, not everything in Weiss Schwarz is going to, make you money. It's not going to happen that way, and that's why I want to urge some caution. I know there was actually a comment on one of my surveys about like why I don't do the buy or invest sooner. So if that person is still out there listening to what I'm saying right here, it's probably going to be hard to find it. But if you are listening out there, why I don't do it sooner is because I don't really condone the whole pre-order like 5-6 months out ahead. And this is not bashing anybody, but I remember somebody taking pre-orders on Facebook for Bunny Girl Senpai, right? So think about it this way. Someone's taking pre-orders for Bunny Girl Senpai. It happens every time. Like I remember when Quince got announced, people were taking, like literally within the first hour, people were taking pre-orders for it on it. But if you go out a certain amount of months and pre-order it, and that company goes out of business, the seller goes out of business, they close, they disappear, you may or may not get your money back from that person. And I know with Bunny Girl Senpai, taking pre-orders on it, and if you think about it, there is no actual release date yet. So you need to have a lot of faith in this person. And I'm not saying this person isn't trustworthy or the store isn't trustworthy. I'm not saying that at all. The reason why I don't do buy or invest videos that early is because I don't want to be responsible for somebody pre-ordering it after watching my video and then having a seller disappear and then you losing your money. I know that's like it's a long string to tie me to, but I don't really condone it. I think people that pre-order that early, I would hope that if you're pre-ordering that early, that you know exactly why you're pre-ordering it. Like at that point, if you're pre-ordering it, I would imagine you're probably not even watching my buy or invest videos. You already know what you're doing. So that's why I don't do it. I just don't want to be an extension of pre-ordering months and months ahead of time because that's a little insane. And I don't want people to lose their money. So, but yeah, that Bunny Girl Senpai one, that one was really early for me, especially since we don't have a date on it that to take pre-orders. So, date and bullet surprise set. This is April 16th. This thing was supposed to be out April 15th. I don't know if anybody's gotten it. I haven't heard of it. This is the set that may just... I don't want to be super negative like that, but seriously, I don't know what's going on with this thing anymore. We'll get it someday. Now on sale. It's now on sale. So they didn't say it got delayed or anything, but whoever I purchased this from, hopefully it comes at some point. Remember, this is the one with the sleeves PR card deck box. If I were to tell you to buy this or not buy this, I would probably not buy this unless you really, really wanted the PR and the deck cards and sleeves and all that. I just think it's with no booster packs in it, extra booster packs in it, I don't feel like this is worth it at all, unless you want the PR card. See, so disclaimer, if you want the PR cards, there is a lot of supply of this. I can only imagine how much is going to show up. So, Rent a Girlfriend is doing Rent a Girlfriend things. There is that you've only ever wanted this set for the girls. So if you wanted the girls, open it up. If you don't, I would suggest not opening it unless you want it for collection purposes, right? I've always said eventually it'll sell out. Right now, booster box is $78.45. And double rare is pretty pathetic actually, because again, this set is not as playable. And you can see 209, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. This is 2. So sorry, I'm like looking at the screen, this TCG player screen, and it's like 2, 1, 1. All these cards are under 1, but again, you have to click on it to see the actual shipping inside, to see if it's, so it's roughly like $2, roughly $2 for a double rare, which is okay. It's really bad. This set's done really bad. RWBY definitely has picked up, right? Like we saw Springfest, people are using RWBY. If you actually want RWBY, you might want to buy some now, is what I'm going to tell you. See, so Pyrrha, Fall Maiden, Vessel candidate, you probably would want to use this card. I try to stay away from Need because you can make any deck with all these cards, right? You got a gajillion cards in a set. You don't have that many, right? You have at least 100 cards in a set, and you can build a deck many different ways. But as you can see here, when I take a look at the actual supply listings, 3 listings left of Pyrrha. Rest is like 20, 10, 13, 20, 31, 38. So obviously this card, more people are buying into, and you can see recently the sales have been pretty good. So Springfest will do that to you. Um, yeah, there you go. So buy Pyrrha if you want to play this deck because it is disappearing. I don't know how many people are still opening this. I mean, there's plenty of booster boxes out there, 59.49. Jeez, $59.49. But there are people buying. Look at this thing. 8 got bought literally today, 2 yesterday, and 2 the day before. So RWBY still being bought, still being opened. The SEC for Pyrrha, 118. Holy crap, how low can this one go? Jeez. At this point, don't even buy the double rare, just buy the SEC. Because that's 118. 118. This is what happens when you don't put a signature on it. Because playable card that just has a stamp on it, not really as good. Sad, actually. Kaguya, so why I'm going through this is because of Springfest. So Kaguya, definitely the keg took a hit because of the restriction list. As you can see, she dropped. She used to be $17, $16. Now we got a seller for $10.44, and there are 4 copies of it. So a whole playset ended up on here for $10.44. And Supreme Bliss Chica still doing all right. She's doing good. We got her $13.31, another playset. Same seller. So it makes you wonder what's going on here. And then last thing, 7 Deadly Sins. We know 7 Deadly Sins is coming out. And is anything really happening? People are buying some. People are buying some. $64. Not really much. I would hope that, I would imagine that 7 Deadly Sins Volume 2 is going to do really well and hopefully going to power up some of these cards. That's what it's going to need. I always wonder what's going to happen here because, you know what, we got choice, we got full counter. I wonder if that's going to be the finisher for the next set, or is it going to be like a new one and you really don't need that card? No, just thoughts in my mind because it's like it's one of those ones where you prepare for it. So like because overall these double rares are pretty cheap. Why is Maryland $5? Why is Merlin $5? Holy crap. I'm the Merlin. Jeez, what's happened with 7 Deadly Sins lately? There has been a lot of buying. I did not click on Merlin before this, and you can see, geez, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2. It's a lot. It's a lot. So 7 Deadly Sins is definitely being picked up. How about Guild Thunder? I know he was a usable card. Yeah, okay, so 7 Deadly Sins. There was a lot of supply. It's definitely being bought now. If you want to play 7 Deadly Sins and prepare for the set that's coming out, you may want to get some. I don't know what the prices are going to do in the future, obviously, but you can see there is a actual upturn in the price. Because I remember this Melodious to the Rescue, which is using that full counter, was in the like 250s, something like that. But as you can see here, there has been some buyings. Yeah, see, 250s. but now we're up to $3 to $4 now. So yeah, this is probably like the last time you're going to see uh, cheap prices. I would say these prices for Seven Deadly Sins. That's coming to an end, and that is it. That was a lot. I didn't think I'd be talking this long. So I'm getting out of here tomorrow. This week, I'm gonna be opening stuff. So hopefully tomorrow, with everybody coming over for Easter, that we can open some of this stuff. Let's do some openings. I still got D4DJ, D4DJ Rebirth for you. I got this Kobayashi Dragon Maid everywhere, so maybe I'll open some of that stuff. And I have that Beaufrey. How much is Beaufrey anyways? I'm like staring at Maple over here when I had that. I don't know what I even had that trial deck for. Like, as in, I have this trial deck display. Maybe I just wanted to compare the size, but did I have any other plans for you, Maple? I love her. She's so great. Maple's so awesome. I really love these TD displays. I wish they would be in color, but I get why they don't do that. It's a waste of money. Jeez, this Barble Muffler Sally, $615. And then where's Maple? Did I miss her? Maple? No, I can't find her. Give me 1 sec. Maple, there she is. $750. Good lord. I know it didn't sell for that. Like there's no sales right here, but still $750. Trial decks, man. Trial decks are nuts. Like when you think about it, like all these like Kobayashi's Maid Dragon, you have Mushoku Tensei, Beaufrey. Like these are nuts. 170. I always find it amazing that Beaufrey is still 175. And this isn't me just. Someone actually bought one yesterday. One left. So we got one actual TD display of them left, and then trial decks of Beaufrey is basically almost gone. Like you have singles, but shoot, $43, 48, $50. It's basically gone. Totally gone. I think, and this is one of those ones on the survey that people ask for a reprint of. It's just, man, Beaufrey, $250 for a booster box. Did anybody buy that? 200. Last sale, 200. 200, 200, 200. Insane. But I never pulled of the boxes I have, and I have a bunch. I've opened, what, 3? And I didn't pull a SP yet. So I stare at it, and I'm like, man, I want to open you. This is the hard part, is I'm a sealed collector. I like collecting some single cards, ones that I really, really love. And then I have booster boxes that I want to open. And then I stare at this, and I'm like, this thing is $200, potentially at least $200. All right, sold on TCG Player for $200, $250. And then you think about EV of this thing. Like, let me think about the EV, the double rares and all of that stuff, and I'm like, do I really want to open a $200 box of cards and try to get an SP or some of this stuff? Which is insane. Battle Craftsman is completely gone. She gone? Oh man. I know people are using this in Springfest, but dang, that's nuts. I'm glad I bought. So what I normally do is I buy boxes, I open them, and then if I need some cards, I'll buy singles, which I have done. And I'm glad I bought a lot of these. I can't believe Saint Misery went from what? Oh my god, what? Frederica, one listing left, $9. I remember Saint Misery at like $3 or some. It doesn't even let me go back that far. But she was down to like $3, and now, am I real? Are you kidding me? $15? Insane. No wonder both free boxes are going for that much. I mean, the double rares alone are like let's just say the double rares are like $10. What did I just do? Oh, I messed with my windows. I messed with my tabs. How did I vertical it? No, turn off vertical. There we go. Jeez, look at these double rares. Each one of them is like outside of 1, 2, 3. Let's say 4. Outside of 4, so you got like a 8 out of 12 shot of getting a double rare that's above $10. 5. So this one is no. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with my market thing? So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I'm gonna say 5. Never mind. 6. 6 out of 12. You have a 50% shot at getting a card about $10 and above from the double rare slot. That's pretty insane. Pretty insane, actually. And some of them, I don't even know how much. I can't be right. Battle Craftsman is $25. Jeez, insane. Anyways, there you go. I think like the hard part, and this is why people ask me why I buy every set. I just buy every set. You never know what's going to happen to a certain set. You don't know how popular people, how the set's going to be, and how many people are going to buy it up. Beaufry definitely was one people forgot about. I'm glad I didn't because I love Beaufry. I love this set. I love it. It's a lot of fun, and at the same time, it reminds me so much of the anime of how like crazy Maple is, and all the stuff that happens in it. So it's a beautiful set. So I definitely tend to buy. I buy everything and buy more of the stuff I liked, and this is definitely one of those ones where I bought a bunch more than I normally do, and I stare at it and think about how I should open it, but then I shouldn't. Anyways, that's it. There is Neopets news. I don't know if anybody's out there on the Neopets, but it's coming out for Quidd on Tuesday. I wonder how that's going to do. If you've never been on Quidd, it's kind of a. I remember when Quidd first started, it was just like getting all these stickers, getting these limited edition electronic cards and things like that. And then, what was it? Sometime last year, they turned it into like NFTs. Like you can sell these things, get money. So it's going to be interesting to see how Neopets fandom, if they come out to support Neopets on Quidd, see how expensive it is. I think that you get a free pack somewhere. I didn't click any of this. There is somehow where I think you have to retweet somewhere. I don't know. You have to retweet somewhere, and then you'll be able to get a free pack on Quidd. So I would say just check out their Twitter. Here's Quidd. This is insane. Quidd on Panini is on Quidd as well. If you haven't seen it, and they're expensive. I remember seeing some of this stuff selling. I'm like, you guys are insane with these NFTs. I'll tell you. I know I talk about investing and all that, and I do, but like, look at this thing. Check out the movie, the motion picture, Space Energized, $555. Really? First edition, print number 1, print count 1. I don't think I'm ever going to understand NFTs. That's when you lost me. I'm good with cryptocurrency. I'm good at investing. I'm good with options, but to put it out there for this, kind of insane to me. I'm just an old man. Wait, let me hit this Twitter. I want to find this Neopets thing. I got an email that said you can get a free pack. Oh, can't find it. I'll have to check my email. Anyways, with that, if you celebrate Easter, hopefully you have a wonderful time, eat a lot of food. I know there's going to be a bunch of people here, so maybe not a video tomorrow, but definitely on Monday we'll go over Spring Fast. What happened over this past, well, I guess what's going to happen tomorrow. If you're, let me just click make it Rick and Morty, quick. I know at this point not many people, I don't want to say no one, because there's a bunch of people that actually do listen to this end here. This is not, I actually have a bunch of these. I played Quidd for a long, long time. And I went and looked. I had a bunch of number 1s for Rick and Morty. And when I looked when this first started happening, I'm like, you guys are insane with how much you're trying to sell some of this stuff. Rick Sanchez, $444.44. Like, some of these numbers are just, like, it's got to be a joke, right? That you're just throwing it out there. It's like the Elon Musk 5420 thing because of the 420. This is nuts. I remember I had a bunch of Game of Thrones too. Like I was collecting all these different arts, like this one. No, Quidd is a lot of fun. It definitely hits you on the whole gambling portion of it. I remember like just getting all these coins. I never spent money on it, but I got these coins through free methods, and then you just open packs. Everyone, if anybody plays Quidd or has played Quidd, you'll know what I'm talking about. They have like a drop that happens at a certain time, and then you're just sitting there opening packs over and over and over again because you're trying to get the first edition or collect them all because they give you a special prize for collecting them all. And then that horrible moment when you run out of coins and can't afford it. But now they're doing a thing where like you can buy the set and all that. I don't know, it's insane. But I remember having a lot of these right here, of these gifts, I guess you could say, of these of Game of Thrones stuff. And then they have these figures, Funko Pops, and all that. Digital Funko Pops, I guess. Digital figures. What else did I have? See all. I just can't believe Panini like is out here and has these cards, and people actually buy them. I thought I saw it was either a Kobe Bryant or a Shaq or a LeBron James that went for like some crazy price. It's insane. I mean, you can collect anything these days. Digital, real, doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm out. I'm out. That's it. As always, have fun, be happy. You don't spend anything outside of your budget. Have a good one.